Every single layer of the computer industry, from the chips to the systems to the software to the applications, are being completely revolutionized by artificial intelligence.
Today, 70% of all GPUs are sitting in the US. 14% sitting in China and in Asia, mainly in China, and only 5% sitting here in Europe as a total. So how can Europe, and especially Germany at the core with this industrial competence, how can then adapt into this next generation?
This is one GPU. People think that NVIDIA builds chips. We do. We build chips. And these chips go into what is a GPU supercomputer that we invented, started working on almost 30 years ago. And this is our latest version. This is called Blackwell. The world has a shortage of labor. And let me give you one example of labor. Let's pretend for a second that the shortage of labor we have is somebody to drive the car. Somebody drove me here today. And you asked the question, what is the value of artificial intelligence? In the case of the car, the self-driving car, we now have a digital and AI chauffeur. That AI chauffeur can learn to recognize the environment and manipulate the steering wheel and the gas pedal. And it does this incredibly well.
I hope that you understand already what we are talking about and what we want to do, but I want to hand it over now to Jensen about how he looks at the world and especially about, let's say, the German situation and what we're doing here today.
Thank you, Tim. I always love coming to Germany because this is the land of engineers. This is where we're all very welcome, and I feel very welcome every time I'm here. I'm also very happy to be here today because this idea actually started with me, and I approached you about this great idea. Well, our industry, this story really started with the transformation of our industry. As you know, we're at a transition time in the computer industry. After 60 years of general purpose computing, the technology that NVIDIA invented over the course of 30 years is now shifting how everything is done. Every single layer of the computer industry, from the chips to the systems to the software to the applications, are being completely revolutionized by artificial intelligence. After 15 years of working on AI, it is now transforming every single industry, including, finally, manufacturing. Manufacturing is extremely difficult, and the reason for that is because physical AI needs to understand the structure of the world and the laws of physics. Yeah. And the work that is done here in Germany is done at such an extraordinary scale and precision, we have to have incredibly good AI. Yeah. But finally, that day is here. And this is a very exciting time because Germany had a vision of Industry 4.0, fusing digital with physical.
Yes.
And finally, now with artificial intelligence, we will supercharge Industry 4.0. And this will be the era of industrial AI. And so I'm very excited about that. Today is a very big day.
What truly amazes me is how fast our world is changing. And right now, we're standing right in the middle of that transformation. What used to be only imagination has turned into engineering reality. Germany, the land of precision, the heart of machines, is about to witness something historic. For decades, computers evolved slowly, but now, with AI, that evolution has exploded. The way Jensen explains it, it's not just a new chapter, it's a new era. The era of industrial intelligence. From chips to software, everything is being rewritten. The machines are no longer just tools. They're becoming thinkers. But wait, what happens when machines start understanding physics and logic just like humans? What will that mean for our industries and for us? Let's move forward, because what comes next will blow your mind.
We talked about Industrial 4.0, and I think the architecture and the concept was right good. But the problem was the execution in Germany didn't take place. And the step going into investments and using the technology for making Industrial 4.0 happen, that was something which was at least slowly happening. And at the same time, the world was waking up. China was waking up, the US was waking up on all this kind of possibilities to create this next generation of industrialization. And what you can see here on that slide is, that today 70% of all GPUs are sitting in the US. 14% sitting in China and in Asia, mainly in China, and only 5% sitting here in Europe as a total. So how can Europe, and especially Germany at the core with this industrial competence, how can then adapt into this next generation? And that is why we have started this initiative to say, we have to build a stack here in Germany, which is enabling our industry to participate in this next generation evolution of the industrialization.
And Tim, your vision is absolutely spot on. And the reason for that is because these GPUs, these computers, are the modern versions of factories. These are factories just like factories of cars and all the industrial factories of Germany. These are factories of intelligence. And in the future, in Industry 4.0 with AI, every company that's a manufacturing company will have two factories. The factory for the car and the factory for the AI that drives the car.
And maybe the core of all this is the compute power which the companies have or need to deploy these digital twins, to use, this virtual world to optimize processes, to optimize their scientific work and all of this. And we have here today something which you brought with us, which is going to be implemented very soon in Germany. And maybe we show it to the public today. So, by the way, let's just open up here together. And then you say what this is here.
See, the vision of Industry 4.0 was right, but the real question is, why didn't it happen the way Germany dreamed? While others raced ahead, Europe hesitated. Now, the US and China control almost all of the world's GPUs, the very brains of AI. Imagine, 70% in America, 14% in Asia, and just 5% in Europe. That's a wake-up call. But here's the twist. Germany isn't giving up. They're building a new foundation, not of steel, but of compute power. Factories of intelligence. In the coming revolution, every company will have two factories, one that builds products and one that builds the AI behind those products. Think about that for a second. Two worlds merging into one. But now you might wonder, where is all this compute power going to come from? What's the next step Germany is taking? Well, the answer lies ahead.
This is one GPU. People think that NVIDIA builds chips. We do. We build chips. And these chips go into what is a GPU supercomputer that we invented, started working on almost 30 years ago. And this is our latest version. This is called Blackwell. And this is, I don't know, a few thousand pounds. A few thousand pounds of...
I can tell you the exact price, so it's a quite costly thing. But anyway, it's worth it.
Very good value.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, very good value. There are currently 16 different chips that are connected together into one giant GPU. And this is the Blackwell B200.
Yeah. So the initiative which we have together is that we are launching a new data center coming soon, and I go into the details in a second, with 10,000 of these GPUs. This is going to be a data center under all security standards, which is going to be taking place in Munich. It is in a special prepared location, which is 3 to 4 floors under the ground. It is powered by local energy, renewable energy, 100%. And on top of that, by water cooling, by a local liver, which is enabling the cooling process. A GPU needs a very, very special environment and, for being deployed. And we worked on the possibility to start with 10,000. Now, some journalists and some people would immediately say, by the Americans, they are putting gigabit factories into place. The announcement up to 70 gigawatt in the US right now. So What do you think that we are just starting with 10,000 now?
Well, starting is the most important part.
Here we are.
Starting is the most important part. This computer is a factory. This is quite an interesting thing. This computer, you apply energy to it. It runs an artificial intelligence model, and what comes out of it are tokens. And these tokens are like, you market the tokens for dollars per million tokens. Just like electricity, dollars kilowatt hours. And this is the new industrial revolution. A machine that generates a commodity that has tremendous value, and which is the reason why this is a factory. Germany is going to be incredibly good at running these factories because, as you know, Germany is really good at building and running factories. And this is going to be the new industrial factory.
And here it is, the future in physical form. Blackwell GPU. This isn't just a chip, it's a super brain, the heart of tomorrow's machines. Each one of these GPUs is built with incredible precision, 16 connected cores forming a single powerful unit. And now, imagine 10,000 of them working together deep underground in Munich, a super data center powered entirely by renewable energy. This isn't sci-fi, it's happening right now. The US builds gigafactories for batteries, but Germany? It's building a gigafactory of intelligence. Each of these computers transforms electricity into tokens, pure digital value, the new industrial currency. Germany's mastery of factories is about to merge with AI to create something the world has never seen. But here's the real question. What exactly are these factories producing? What's their true output? Let's unlock that next.
The real idea here is that we're producing intelligence. Now, intelligence, as you know, is very difficult to see. But the benefits of intelligence is very clearly easy to measure.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we all know is that the world has a shortage of labor. And let me give you one example of labor. Let's pretend for a second that the shortage of labor we have is somebody to drive the car. Somebody drove me here today. And you asked the question, what is the value of artificial intelligence? In the case of the car, the self-driving car, we now have a digital and AI chauffeur. That AI chauffeur can learn to recognize the environment and manipulate the steering wheel and the gas pedal. And it does this incredibly well.
Correct.
What is the value of that AI? Maybe it's $20 per hour. Whatever is the price of an AI chauffeur. And so whether it's measured in labor cost or it's measured in the benefit of the output, you said in many examples, the number of drug discoveries and examples has doubled. If your productivity improves, then you can measure the amount of output, and that is the value of AI. But what comes out of this machine is basically numbers, because it's a computer. And these numbers are reformulated into intelligence. Yes. The intelligence of human language, the intelligence of numbers, the intelligence of chemicals and proteins.
And now, the answer. These new factories are producing intelligence itself, not visible like metal or plastic, but measurable in power, precision, and productivity. Think about it. The world is short of labor. But what if you could create a digital worker? An AI chauffeur that drives like a pro, 24/7, never tired, never distracted. That's real economic power. Just one AI can replace a 20-an-hour human task. Multiply that by millions, and you get the scale of this revolution. Whether it's designing a car, discovering a drug, or decoding human language, AI transforms numbers into understanding, and understanding into innovation. This is the dawn of an age where intelligence is the new industry, and Germany is stepping right into it. If you want to keep exploring how AI is reshaping industries and building the future, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next video dives even deeper.